everyone, and welcome to this episode of Discovering Laguna Woods. I'm Cyndee Whitney, and today we're going to be spending time learning about the boundless creative energy of Nancy Clan Morin. We're going to be learning about her recent and current projects, so I know you're going to want to stay tuned because we're coming right back with Nancy Clan Morin. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Sitting on the beautiful patio of Nancy Clan Morin's home. Hello, Nancy. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, Cyndee?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I'm just really happy to be here. It's a beautiful space and it's a beautiful day. And I just wanted to say that you are having a moment right now, aren't you?
I am.
It's exciting just to be in your orbit.
The 15 seconds of fame.
You're extending that out a bit, I think. Yeah, absolutely. You recently, I should just hold this up. You recently won a Goldie in the Video Club Awards, which was very prestigious. It was a wonderful piece. I attended that and was really excited to see you given that wonderful award. Well deserved. And moments from now, your latest novel is being published, and it's going to be in May. What is the date it's going to be?
It'll be available on May 14th.
May 14th.
And I'm just doing the final polishing and finding those quotation marks that are missing. And
okay.
just tweaking words and it'll be out on May 14th.
It's wonderful, and we're going to show a copy of that. It's called Love and Protest. It has a wonderful cover on it that I think is going to really stand out on a bookshelf because it's a kind of a showstopper. It's an unusual book cover. So
it is. I was really lucky to to have a graphic artist friend put it together for me.
Wonderful. Well,
Ron Larson.
Ron Larson. That's right. It's wonderful to have a collaboration with other creative people when you're working on creativity. So we're going to talk a little bit about Love and Protest because I would love to know more about what is the concept of the book, how did you start it, and just give us some ideas about what they can expect when they pick up this wonderful novel.
The way it started was I had the idea of somebody finding a diary in a thrift store, just a happenstance find, and reading through the diary and having it affect her life. So I have a young girl in 2019 find a diary that was written by a young girl in 1967. And the themes throughout the book are protesting wrong, things you think are wrong. The girl in 1967 got very involved in the anti-Vietnam War movement. The girl who finds the diary, she's kind of trying to figure out her purpose in life, and she ends up getting involved with the Black Lives Matters movement. And then they both fall in love with their counterparts, and so the themes travel through the whole book, the themes of the anti-war movement and the Black Lives Matter movement.
Well, you were kind enough to give me a preview copy of this, so I have read the novel. So I can tell you that I was present in both in those circumstances in the 60s and 70s and all the way through to present day. And I was reliving things. I was an East Coast person as well, where she was in Hickory Springs, Georgia, and that East Coast trip to San Francisco. And she said when she arrived in San Francisco, she thought it was so different from where she came from. It seemed like the 10th planet in the solar system. And I thought I did too, so I could see anybody living in those experiences and at those times it really felt as though I was transported. You did some amazing research on this novel, I have to say. I'm so impressed.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, but, and I now I have to ask you because we're here and we're talking about something specific, but we're also talking to a community of people in Laguna Woods, who many of them have had their work life. They've raised their children. They've done all the right things, and now it's their time, and they want to maybe do something as exciting as writing or some other tangible type of art. This is literary art. It could be something else. Tell these people, speak to these people that wanted to write something at some point. Maybe it's a memoir, maybe it's a short story. How could they begin that?
Well, to begin it.
Yes, yes.
But the thing that a lot of people, and probably me when I first started, think when you start writing, that's going to be your end product. And you just need to start writing. And it can't be good. You just write and you write and you write, and then you go back and make it better. And then you go back and make it better. So, if you write 3 pages and you like a page and a half of it, that's a really good thing, because you just start improving. You don't quit. You just start improving and making it better and better. And there are places here in Laguna Woods. There's the pub club is a place if you wanted to be around other writers. Join the pub club. There used to be a writers club, but I think that's disbanded now. And kind of seek other people doing the same thing is what I think you should do.
Well, you could go to the Globe and look at club news. Also, you go on the Village TV directory and find out, just go through day after day, and there are different shows that are specific to writers, readers, and writers, and so
Right.
forth, where they're talking about.
And there's book clubs and stuff like that.
Exactly. But the fact that you're making that it's iterative, that you move a little bit forward one day, you move a little bit back, don't stop. That's normal, and that gives your mind a chance. I know I really make my subconscious do a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I just cram things in before I go to bed and say, okay, it's your turn. and that helps. I mean, just planting seeds and the circumstances and events in your mind.
Right.
You begin to think about it differently.
I'll go out on a walk.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I will have solved a question that I had, as far as, or I'll say, oh my God, she didn't graduate from high school. So I go back and I write a chapter where she graduates from high school.
I love it. And of course your writing is so seamless, the reader would never understand the process that went into it, because it's the seamless flow forward for both of these young ladies. It's parallel circumstances that they have in this novel that are just spectacular. I have to admit that if you step away a little bit, you're going to lose track a little bit of them. So I had to go back and read a couple of pages and then ramp myself back up. But that's because it's very exciting, and it's got a lot of content, which is great. I think people are going to love your writing style. And you also have a previous book, The Clock of Life.
Yes. I just wanted to say about the Goldie, the video club. The video for that award came about because I wanted a book trailer for my first novel, The Clock of Life. And so I went to the video club and I took a class in video editing. And that is, and then I had the tools to make a video to complement the book I wrote. So that, that's another thing that of creativity that's available here.
Yes, you actually got to look at your work through another dimension too. I want to portray this in another setting so people can see it, rather
Right.
than just read about it. So
And I needed it for as a marketing tool.
By the way, I see both of your novels as potential for a full-length, I'm seriously, a full-length film. They're really wonderful. I would go in a heartbeat to either one of those movies. So,
You know anybody?
I'm working at it. No, and there are a couple. I have to just say I have to read these. A couple of quotes that I took away. You made these up. I thought these were wonderful established platitudes. They're just wonderful. My past doesn't predict my future. One of the characters said that in your novel. I cannot let disappointment keep me disappointed. I love that. And then about this one particular character, some people are just so easy with life. And we know people like that. I love
Yes,
these
because
things.
she was struggling so much, and she's watching this other person just, be easy with life, and
Yeah.
it just is baffling to her.
Yes. Well, yes. I think that was one of the big takeaways for me is that the point of view of young, altruistic, idealistic characters in a world that they're trying to change and they're protesting, but they are surrounded by other generations, moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, so they see these generations of people that have lived their whole life protesting against the wrongs of life as they perceive them. So just really, really wonderful.
Yeah, and those themes were also in my first novel.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree.
it just seems to be something that
Yeah.
I'm drawn to.
And I'm not going to say anything about the ending other than you really know how to create a satisfying ending for your novels. Very much so. and a surprise. And you do just a great job. So if somebody's looking for a good read, boy, this is it for sure. Both
Thank
of them.
you
Both
so
of them are
much,
terrific.
Cyndee.
And I don't want to stop talking to you without you explaining that we were sitting here before, or you were sitting by yourself, and somebody went by. Would you tell us what that person said about Laguna Woods?
Yes, it was really cute. Somebody I actually know, they were driving past in her golf cart. She was on her way to Clubhouse for a class in creating design for the house or something like that, and she was just, I can't wait, it's such a fun thing. And she says, I feel like I'm at summer camp being here. Every day I get to sign up for something new.
Summer camp. I love that. It is summer camp when you think about it. I mean, you can do something different several times a day.
Yeah,
Several times a day.
yeah, a
So,
few.
yeah, it's great. And another thing that I know that because I went with you, that really enhances and improves your ability to write is a storytelling group that you invited me to, and I went with you last week. What an interesting thing that is.
Yeah, isn't that?
It is. Yeah, maybe you could explain what it, because that has to increase your ability to think about characters and circumstances and events as a writer.
Or just tell your a story.
So what are they supposed to do when they go there?
They The people who have signed up
Yeah.
to be on stage go on stage for, I believe, 6 minutes. There's leeway there, and they stand up there and they tell a 6-minute story. It is a true story, possibly embellished with some humor or whatever.
Yeah.
And at the end of the evening, the audience takes the vote, and the person who wins the most votes gets $100.
And they were so different
Yeah,
from one another.
yeah, they always are. We've been going there for probably maybe 2 years, not every month, and this takes place in Long Beach.
Yes.
And and it's just spending an evening with like-minded people.
Absolutely.
And they do have some, at intermission, there's somebody who's an entertainer. Every once in a while there's a comedian that's there, and so it's just a fun evening.
Yeah, or a musician or something. And it was really interesting to see people. It takes some courage to get up and tell a 6-minute story about
a lot of courage.
a life experience. And they were all so different from each other. There was one woman who was a little older, and she had 3 marriages, and she told about each one. And then I know the clock was going off. She'd reached her 6 minutes, and I remember saying, if she has a fourth husband, she's going to be in trouble. She's going to run out of time. But
she did.
She did.
And he was sitting there.
So it's a lot of fun, and everybody loves everything that everybody does, no matter what. If their story is a little unfinished or something, it doesn't matter. It's a great time for everybody. So that has to help your writing skills as well. So if you were to reach out to somebody and say, I know you've got a story in you somewhere, what would you? I know you've already given some tips on that, or some points of view. What else would you say? Is it worth trying?
I'd say start, and maybe you'll really like it.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll really get into it. And I know that many in the olden days, there's a book called The Artist's Way.
Yes.
And so I went through the book, and they have something called morning pages, where you basically just the first thing you do in the morning is write longhand for 45 minutes. And sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes you just got to go la 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 la. And then you go, this is stupid to say la la la, and then you start writing. And and then later you read back some of the things that and you can take little snippets out of what happened basically in your subconscious, because it's almost speed writing, and it's almost what is that conscious. Oh, shoot. Ulysses is...
Stream of consciousness?
Stream of consciousness.
Okay. Hey! which we don't seem to have.
Yeah, really.
No, that's Julia Cameron's book, The
Artist's Way.
And
I would really
great.
suggest, it's still going strong. It's probably been out for 30 years.
I did that whole morning pages for about a year. And I was really going, and it's like, oh, I have to stop now, because you can't go past that 45 minutes. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I have more to say tomorrow. So yeah,
that would be one way of starting.
Yes.
And,
I agree. Yeah, just opening yourself up to what that creativity is about. Discipline, too. It's like free form, and it's about, thinking anything and everything all at once, but it's also about, now at a certain point you have to hone that down, create a storyboard or a mood board or something that has images on it and text on it, and start moving forward with this idea.
Or even, it's not something I do, but it's what many writers do, is have an outline. If your complete story, or at least even half of it, and it would help you to have an outline. That's a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Also.
Well, speaking of places to start, we're going to take a pause here, because we're going to go into another space, and we're going to look at some of the things that you have that help you do your work, because we've described it a little bit, and we're going to take a look at what it actually looks
Sounds
like.
great.
So, all right. So Nancy, I had asked you before sort of how you keep things organized, or how you visualize different things. Like some people will have a storyboard or an image board or something like that. And you took me in here, and you have things on your computer that were references for different characters or different locations, and they're real things and real people, but you kind of based your character design on them. Is that true?
Yeah, no, not everything,
No.
but every once in a while, when I was researching something, I'd come across an image that I kept.
I see.
So that I could refer back to it, or just even get in the mood.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
The half of the book takes place in 1967, and that was a long time ago. I was there.
Yes, yeah, me
but
too.
But it was. I'll show you some of what we're talking about.
Okay.
I have a character named Gypsy. So she goes in 1967. My character named Liberty goes to an event at the Human Being, and she meets a guy. So I saw this picture in somebody's old book, and I went, oh, that's my guy, and in the book his name was Gypsy.
Yes.
So I used Gypsy.
I recognize him from reading the book. Well done.
And then she gets involved with the mobilization to end the war in Vietnam, and so I pulled up protest button, and there was the San Francisco Oracle that announces the Human Being. So it got me back in the 60s.
Yes.
And
yes. So it's good reference to have even just the details of how things were constructed artistically, or
right,
or
and
whatever.
then I could describe
Yeah.
what the front of the oracle looked like,
Yes.
with more confidence than just making it
Yes,
up.
yes. Well, your book really demonstrates that you have done a great deal of research. Really, we didn't move from one place to another without having it be established for us, so we knew what it looked like and what they were experiencing. So you did a great job of that. And so it's interesting to see that these are some of the things that you pulled from real life.
Oh,
and
there
used
was one
those.
thing here I
Okay.
should show you, because it is the diary.
It's a real
the diary
diary.
that she found in the thrift store. So I have this, and then I could describe it. You know, it was gold lettering with a clasp, etc. So that was the that's what starts the whole novel.
It does. It's on I think the first page.
Yeah,
Yes, the first
probably.
page. Yeah.
First chapter, anyway.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's wonderful, and so that creates a sort of a sense of mystery. It's like who wrote that, and
Exactly.
what's the purpose of it, and yeah, it's quite interesting. So already in the first chapter, I'm very curious about reading on. So yeah, well done.
So, like you say, this is my form of a storyboard.
Yes, yes, is to have images of things that you can refer to. If you want to say something else about the diary, there is a picture of it and how well worn it is, and what sort of characteristics lend itself to the rest of the story just based on that image. You can take a lot away from that one image, and you did. So yeah, this is interesting. I hadn't thought that. I think of a storyboard as like the what did you call this? The wall of us. The wall of us.
I do. It started, actually underneath there is a corkboard that's probably 18 inches wide and 24 inches long.
Oh, it's gone.
Wasn't big enough.
It's gone. That's great. Yeah. Well, some people keep an album and it's closed somewhere in the closet. You have it right here. And the whole album is right there.
Yeah, trips and grandkids and
Yeah.
accomplishments and
Yeah.
the likes of that.
It's wonderful. Yeah. Friends. Well, as we begin to close out the show, what advice would you give to somebody here? I know you've done it a little bit already in our conversation today, but with knowing this and knowing people have an interest in maybe creating a memoir, I think would be a really good place for people to start, about their own life, because they've got the things, that you're finding online about a story. They've got those
Right.
things in their life. Would you suggest that a memoir would be something that they could, start working on and putting down the images and?
Yeah, no, absolutely. If it would be best if there was an event or a certain portion of their life, not, I was born a poor white boy, and,
Yeah, yeah, right, yeah.
and go to your 90th birthday, it would just
Right.
the inciting incident, or just a certain time, maybe if you did something exciting, if you were a fighter pilot or something like that, I would just say start. For me, I like to fictionalize everything. It's more creative for me than to telling the truth isn't my thing.
Well, this was historical fiction.
Yes.
Because it was
Yes.
so based in reality. So that you did a really great job with that. That's my favorite genre.
Yeah.
I'd like to read about that. But you know what? I thank you for those little bits of information for people to, and hopefully they'll start and realize it's fun to do. And I really want to thank you for allowing us to come into your home today and look at your process and introduce your new novel. And we wish you all the success in the world in this one. And we're looking forward to the film.
Like I said, you know somebody?
Yeah, hey, we'll work on it. And then we can't wait to see what you will do next. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Cyndee. You've
you.
been very gracious.
Oh, of course, of course. And we- Thanks for joining us today as we spent time learning about the creative process of Nancy Clan Morin. We hope that you are inspired to do some creative things of your own. And remember, creativity is patient. It waits for you. So we thank you for spending time with us on Wednesday and Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. on Village Television, and anytime you want to on Village Television YouTube. Be sure to be kind to yourselves and everyone around you. We all deserve kindness. So we will see you next time and every time on Discovering Laguna Woods. Bye for now.